Ever since we figured out how to wire anything on this channel, we've always tried to stick lighting in there. And the easiest and most obtainable stuff out there is likely some cheap LED strips on Amazon. And that's what's lighting up this boat. At first glance, they look brilliant. You think to yourself, why would anybody not do this? The advantages are clear cut. You can visibly see them. They give you a complete advantage at night on how to navigate the lake and just to navigate your boat deck. And even if you don't fish at night, some of those early 4 a.m. mornings, you might want to see the deck. Even into the evening if you stay a little late. There seemed to be no real disadvantage to adding LED strips down the side of your boat or in the compartments, other than the fact that it took a little bit of time and effort. The cost to effectiveness ratio seemed apparent at the very beginning. Going into the interim, you started to maybe see that the lights weren't exactly the same color as they used to be, and that would be because the actual gel coating on top of the LED lights, the modules themselves in the strip, started to turn amber. And then eventually a brown color. And after the brown color starts to set in, then that means that your LED strip is actually nearing the end of its life. And I did not know that. And what I also didn't know is how much of a pain it would be to try to remove and reinstall those LED strips once they go out. Because you need construction adhesive or silicone, one of the two, to actually mount those. I know some of them come with like a 3M backing. That never works. You always need an additional adhesive of some sort to make them stick like this and have them stay without falling out. And then trying to get that silicone or construction adhesive out once it's bonded to the hull or to whatever you put it to, you get a newfound respect for how durable and how resilient that stuff is. Because you likely have to get serious tools and you'll destroy everything around it trying to get it off, meaning that you'll have to just do a bunch of extra work. You really don't save any time or money in the end buying cheap LEDs. And so I have abandoned them completely. A quality LED strip that lasts a lifetime looks completely different. It has thicker overall construction and a completely different quality of coating on top, a coating that will never turn brown or crack or fade like what you saw earlier. The LED modules within the strip themselves are of superior quality, and what this means is you get an almost no questions asked lifetime warranty with any of these strips. Think about it. Would you put one of those cheap Amazon strips underneath the water like this to light up your bunks on a trailer and ever think that they're going to last any sort of time? This is just scratching the surface, literally. In this video, we're going to give a good overview and explore all the options Plashlights has to offer in terms of their LED strips. Plashlights makes 4 different types of LED strips. They have their traditional LED strips, which we have used on these 2 boats, and they look pretty fantastic just at first sight. Although you can see the dots, like the cold and hot spots right there. You can see the dots. That's the only drawback from their traditional ones. They do much better completely hidden out of sight, throwing indirect light onto the boat like this. But if you want the LED strips to be exposed for better lighting or for overall look, then check out their neon lights. They have their mini neon LED strips, which are very competitive in price to their standard LED strips, although they are thicker. The mini neon strips also just come in 2 sets, either cool white or RGB, whereas the standard LED strips come in any single color that you can possibly imagine. Any color that the RGB can fade into, we have a single color for that. So if you just want to live with one color, you like that green or you like that red or the blue or some sort of off color like amber or purple, you can get that. But if you're a person who likes variety and change, then I respectfully suggest the RGB system. Now this is just with their standard RGB lights, and even they in and of themselves look brilliant. And these are just their standard strips on this boat, which honestly, depending on your application, might be the best choice. But in something like this, where I purposely chose to not hide the LED strips so they could just blend together right on the deck, this is where the mini neons would have really shined. They would have looked great anywhere, completely exposed to the naked eye, because in the naked eye you can actually see the dots. You can't much see them in this video, just with the exposure there you can kind of see them there. That kind of goes away. If you're looking at just putting in a bunch of single color LED strips, those are actually very easy. It's only 2 wires, and one of those wires goes through a switch to the power source and the black wire to the ground, and then voila, you have a lit up LED strip that even at 10 foot or longer really takes only about 3 to 5 amps. They're very, very low amp draw for the amount of light they put off, and there's really no downside as long as the quality is there, which it is. But if you're going to go full on RGB so you can have any color you want at any time, including multiple colors at once, then you're going to need some other components. All these lights are ran off of an RGB controller, which is good for up to 50 feet of LED strips. Anything above that, you'll need to add CB4 channel amps from plashlights. They have a whole system that works together. They have these 8-way splitters that join multiple lights. So if you have a bunch of little short strips like speaker rings or speakers that are RGB themselves and some little ones here and there, then you can group all 8 of those into one strip and one wire and run it back to the controller. If you go onto our members only portal, we have a specific how to rig RGB lights so you can get good results like this. Whichever one you choose, just remember that any amount of lights on a boat are better than no lights at all. But LED strips, whether they're neon or standard, are but a smidge of the actual potential that plashlights possesses. Truth be told, they make lights for everything. They make completely waterproof, high quality underwater LEDs that can mount to the transom or to the tunes like this, anywhere from 24 watts all the way to 180 watts, putting out some serious light out there in the water. And many of them come in single color, dual color, and they have RGB with their own internal controller, or you can get them synced up with their own RGB controller like we have on this boat, so the backlights sync up with the rest of the LED strips in the boat. If you just want a single color or dual color, they have those. And they look pretty nice. If you get one that just kind of goes with the flow, like this one that dips from cool white to warm white, so it really doesn't matter what color on the outside of the boat it is, it just kind of matches and flows. But if you just want to be the loudest boat out there on the water in terms of lighting up at night, then it's not very hard to do as long as you're willing to do it. This boat has all 4 types of LED strips strategically placed so that the entire boat lights up. All of it, the outside, the inside. There's not one part of it that you can't see at night. If you're interested in any of these setups, please give us a call or check out our website directly and search up plashlights. Thank you.